Coach Burnett just heard the national anthem here, Tervel Delagna. Talk about his day. I think it was kind of crazy, but he got us qualified and won his tournament.
Pretty interesting that they came and didn't wrestle, but really good opportunity for Tervel, and he did wrestle well. You know, it's been a while since he's been on the mat, so really proud of his effort. But more importantly, he was able to move. He looked good. He scored a lot of points, and at heavyweight, I'm going to say that's not the most common thing. So really proud of that, and really proud of the fact that we got to hear the national anthem at the end. So it was a long day. You know, we certainly had our challenges today, some ups and downs, and we wanted to get all 4 weights qualified here. We certainly have our work cut out for us right now with the next opportunity being in Mongolia. But that's what we'll do. We'll pack back up and we'll get ready to go and get those best wrestlers ready to compete and continue that road to Rio.
With his back surgery last summer, did you have any questions in your mind about how his physical health is going to be at this point?
Well, I've been able to work with Tervel a little bit, and Lou Roselli, who coaches him as well, and I have total confidence in what they tell me. And so when they told me they were ready to go, I just took that for face value, and that's what it was going to be. And so I had no doubts, and I stayed in communication with Tervel and Lou Roselli, and they were right on. You know, they did exactly what they said he could do, and he was ready to wrestle.
So is there any question in your mind left about him and about how he can be ready for possibly performing in Rio?
Well, no, I think he's going to be ready to go. I think he's going to continue to build from here. I will say that he did go to Paris at the end of January, and so that gave us a good indication because he had some really quality athletes there that he had to compete against. And that's a building process, right? It's a step-by-step process. So he's going to continue to get better and continue to get stronger. And you know, definitely looks good right now in the process and where he's at.
Brett Metcalf was in a tight bout in the quarterfinals with Gomez of Puerto Rico, 9-7. It looked like he could have possibly been awarded the takedown at the end, which would have gave him a criteria victory. Share your thoughts on that ending sequence.
Okay, I'm going to give you the ending, but I'm going to give you the beginning first. Brent didn't wrestle well the first 4 minutes, but he did the last 2 minutes. And he wrestled well enough to win. And he did the things that he needed to do. And there's no question that he had the 2-point takedown. It was an injustice, and it's something that earlier in my career as national coach actually got me out of the sport for a little bit, because I believe beyond the shadow of a doubt that they saw it and just chose not to give it. And we had no recourse to alleviate. So that's a tough thing as a coach. That's a tough thing for the athlete. Now, people will say, well, he put himself in the situation, and the official, all that is true, and that's what this sport is about, you know, and Brent showed great character in dealing with it the way that he did. I'm going to tell you right now, because that's really a frustrating thing, because there was no doubt, we could show on the video clearly, there was time left. He had both legs. The guy, Franklin, had both hands on the mat out in front of him, clearly a takedown. Everybody will say it was a takedown. And so those are hard things in life. I mean, really. And but we get back up. We get back up when we get in a fight. And you know what? The next guy that steps on the mat for the USA to qualify the weight class, he better be a little smarter, a little better prepared. And you know, it's just something that we have to deal with, and it's frustrating. But at the same time, you know, we put ourselves in a position that if we'd wrestled like that the whole 6 minutes, there would have been no question about it.
Talking about the next chance to qualify, will it be the Olympic trial winners to go to Mongolia, or is that going to be determined at a later time?
Look, I'm a simple guy, and whoever is our number one athlete, it's their responsibility and their right to qualify the weight class for the Olympic Games. Our number one wrestlers, our very best guy, And that's the avenue I'll take. Now, here are the factors that come into play. This is why I get paid the big bucks, right? Which is not really the big bucks, but the reality of it is we go with our very best. The number one guy, but if he has an injury or he has a weight problem, I'll step in because it's still about representing your country. But you make no mistakes about this. Whoever makes the Olympic team wants to go to Rio. He wants it in his hands, and I want it in their hands because they are the ones that are going to step on the mat in Rio, Brazil to try to win an Olympic gold medal. And the number one guy from the Olympic Games, I'll get an email out to our national team on Monday, and I'm going to give them itinerary so they know exactly what it's going to look like. 1 week after the Olympic trials, we're going to have to get on the road and take care of business because we've got to go halfway around the world and get this thing qualified and do it the very first time in Mongolia so we don't have to mess with it again. And I promise you, we can make that happen. We have the athletes, we have the coaches, now we just have to get it done. So we came up a little short right here, but we're not going to let it happen again. We're going to take control and get this thing taken care of.
Tony Ramos, third time within about a year or so with the Cuban. It went the other way again. What's that matchup going to look like in the future if Tony has to wrestle him at another big event?
Okay. Sometimes in this sport, Gary, we know that there's super talents, right? And if you try to wrestle, and we have super talents, so everybody on this elite level have been successful. And they tend to do what they do. And sometimes it's hard to make those adjustments. But I promise you, if it's Tony, he'll make those adjustments the next time. You're talking about the opportunity to win an Olympic gold medal, and if the Olympic gold medal has to go through Burnett from Cuba, then that's what has to happen. But you have to wrestle him smarter. You have to wrestle him different. And I know it didn't look like, but there were some progress in that match. He didn't get turned this time, did he?
Nope.
Because technically he did something a little bit different than he's done in the past. We just have to get him. The guy is super good. And if he gets a hold of your elbow and you don't clear it right, he's going to get to your legs. And so sometimes that may be a simple solution, but I'm telling you, those simple things like that and learning how to clear it, get the guy's head turned, it's going to give you an opportunity. Just like Jake Herbert wrestling Salas. He did a lot of very good things. Very good things. He made 2 mistakes. He quit moving and circling to his right and stayed in front of him a little too long. Gave him 2 push-outs. But we were still in position with a minute to go to win the match. And so we weren't that close the first 4 times. That's what I'll tell you. So Jake Herbert did a good job. He closed the gap. So sometimes we have to make adjustments, and that's what we'll do to win Olympic gold medals.
Guys, outstanding, Bruce. Thank you.